Welcome to Space Invaders. We're the show that helps you with your building tasks, but we show you how to do it right. Now today we're in Leamington Spa at a beautiful Regency house. Now our task is to fit not just one, but two cracking marble fireplaces. Come inside, have a look. Wow. Well, you must be Ian.
Yeah, that's me.
How'd you do?
Touch my fingers.
And you must be Mick.
Yeah.
Mick, what a terrific room. This is superb. This is just my style of house, this is. Regency, I believe, yes?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And what's your job today?
We're going to be fitting two fireplaces.
Right.
One in this room and one in the other room there.
Why are you covering this up then?
We're just about to sweep the chimney, make sure it's all clear before we start, get all the nests out of the way.
Always sweep your chimney first.
And just put this dust sheet on to minimise the dust coming in the room.
Oh yeah, because if that goes wrong, we'll end up like Dick Van Dyke, yeah? So what sort of fireplaces are going to go in here?
Yeah, it's white bullseye marble.
Right.
With a cast iron insert.
Right. What about all this brickwork that's all round? That looks a bit...
I do a bit of work here to put a new lintel in to really support this area here.
Right.
And basically that's just too large an opening.
Is it centralised properly though? Have you checked that?
No, we haven't checked that yet, but we...
Right.
If it does need altering, we can chop it out and move it over.
Right. And once this fireplace... And you say it's white marble?
Yeah, it's a white Carrara marble with the bullseyes.
Oh, that's what style? In the Regency period?
Yeah, a Regency design.
Right. You've already got a fireplace in here?
Yeah, well, this one's coming out.
Albeit not really the right style or period, is it?
Oh, it's not really large enough for the room, no. It's nice, but it's been painted as well, obviously with some kind of gloss over the years.
It's only a timber one anyway, isn't it? Is this going to have a marble one as well? They're matching pair?
Yeah, very similar. I think this one's slightly larger, with the slate hearth, where that one's having a cast iron insert in there. Right. This one's having more of a freestanding basket. With this brickwork being either replaced or tidied up, we'll have a look at that when we get all in situ.
Are these going to function as gas or coal, real fires?
This one's a freestanding basket with solid fuel, and the one previous room is going to have a gas coal effect fire in it.
So they're not really, that one's not really going to be for heat, is it? It's more for effect, for looks.
Yeah, they're more of a decorative fuel effect.
We're in Leamington Spa.
Indeed.
Right, and there's lots of beautiful Regency houses here. I mean, the thing about Regency houses is they've got this beautiful facade. Is that why you chose this particular house and this area to live?
There is a certain elegance about it, certainly, compared with some of the buildings that came in the Victorian area, that are a little bit more chunky. And we were looking for a house like this, the style, the big rooms, the high ceilings, and period, and in this kind of locality. But there was very few kicking around, but we eventually got this one because we got a very good deal on it. We waited and waited and waited, knew the people were desperate to sell, and then we came in with a final offer. When we got it, it was in rather a run-down state. Structurally, it was fine. It still is structurally fine. Yeah. But decoratively, it was in a terrible state. We're in a room here which hasn't been decorated, but this is typical of the kind of decor that we found. But it desperately needed doing. And it desperately
Regency style, actually, is like huge, airy rooms.
Sure.
And they're very plain walls, but very light in colour.
That's right.
Plain ceilings.
That's right, and that's what we've done upstairs as well. And that's what we're going to do here, because it's a very light room with the two
huge windows, which is.
So this is going to be very, very light. I'm not the artiste. I'm not the designer. My wife does that.
Oh right.
So and she's doing a course as well, just to make sure she does it exactly right. In the bedroom. That is a slate fireplace.
And is it painted?
It was. It's now been taken back, renovated, treated, and it's there in all its glory again.
So that would be true to the Regency style.
Indeed,
it would have a slate fireplace and
then
put a paint treatment on top.
Yep. And it's got the original basket as well.
All right, I'll have a look at that later. But right now, I suppose we should really get back to these two fireplaces downstairs in the living room.
I think so, don't you?
Right, is that ready to come out?
It's been put in and someone's screeded a base around there.
Right, just shake it and pop it up.
Try and pull it, wiggle it and pull it up at the same time.
You're not lifting up that end, you see.
strange way of fitting it.
Do you reckon this is mahogany? Nice. It's only old pine, that's all it is.
Oh, that's probably what they've painted it.
Yeah. That's right. We're not ruining some masterpiece. It's not worth nothing, this one. Well, this fireplace has been cleaned by Mick. Mick's in the other room cleaning the other one. Now, Ian here is actually going to centre the chimney breast and locate where the centre point is so we can set out the fire. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, forget the centre, and that's one of the most important things. So don't want a fireplace off centre.
And then what we've got to do after that, I presume, well, this is what I always do when I'm doing it, is once we actually mark it out, we mark it out about an inch wider than the fireplace.
Yeah, just roughly, yeah.
And then we cut the plaster back, because when we actually fix the fireplace, we want it back against the brickwork. And then we can replaster that in, and that'll be part of the anchorage. What do you think?
Yeah, being plastered in, it's part of how they was originally fitted, you know, hundreds of years ago, but it does give the extra strength as well. Especially with the mantle, it's very unlikely it's going to tip out, but the plastering in is quite a critical hold for it.
That's a long-winded way of saying I was right. Right. Measurements. Are you going to put it in dry, or are we going to measure it?
Yeah, I've found the centre there. I've got the exact centre of the wall.
Yeah, but the fireplace itself, we're going to offer it up dry first.
Yeah, I put everything in except for the hearth.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a slate hearth and it's easily damaged, so
Yeah.
So I don't want that in till the latest possible moment, really.
But there is one little tip while we're talking about a slate hearth. If you scratch it, it's not the end of the world, because you can, with a bit of wet and dry, take the scratch and the mark out. But be very careful, because it does scratch easy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's very, very soft polished slate.
Right, so should we get the bits?
Yeah, I need to get the cast iron insert in first and rest that in.
I hope you bent your knees then when you was picking it up. I did. Did you notice that? Bent my knees. I'll hold that and you get the next piece. Well, the boys have made a good start on the two fireplaces. Join us in part 2 to see this job finished. Hi, welcome back. We're in a lovely Regency house today, fitting 2 fireplaces in adjoining rooms. One is solid fuel and the other is gas. Now, what we're doing here, you might wonder, by sticking our hands in this. Ian's given me a great tip. You know, we just moved that metal plate, the back plate of the fireplace, into position. That's got black lead on it. Now, we've washed our hands after moving it, haven't we?
Yeah, got all the black lead off.
And then Ian told me, if we use this white dental plaster as a barrier, then we won't get any stains on the marble. Because if you get stains on the marble, especially that black lead stuff, you can't get it out. It's very porous, marble is, and we'll be in all sorts of trouble. And also, he works on the side as a dentist, that's why it's dental plaster. And he's going to sort me railings out later. Just quickly show you how these are made. These are all individual pieces, and this is called a chemi, this glue that you see here. And they cut little triangular bits of slate or marble, whichever. And actually, the 3 pieces, 1, 2, 3, are just glued together. And this piece on top, fairly simple, but when you turn it around, it looks very impressive. It's good, this. It's normally me who has to do all the hammering. It's nice to have 2 people to do it for me. Now, are you sure you don't want me to do this for you?
Yeah, carry on with your
No,
life,
you said no. You said no. That's a fact. Oh, we are working hard. The boys are working hard over there. And I'm having a discussion with their boss, Graham. Graham.
Hiya.
These fireplaces. Now, why did you choose the 2 particular fireplaces that are going in this house? Are they Regency style?
Yeah, Regency, running into Georgian. Jane and John came in and they gave us quite a tight spec of what they wanted.
Right.
On that type of style of marble fireplaces. So then we showed what was on offer.
Right, is that quite common then? They've actually given you a very tight specification. They know exactly what they want. Is that the case for everyone?
Yes, some people come in and they want to create a look. and they want a fireplace, Victorian, Edwardian, anything like that. Other people will come in and say, right, we live in a house that is dated on a certain date, 1880, and then ask us to look for something of that period.
Right, well if someone came into you and wanted, say, I don't know, a Victorian fireplace to go in their Georgian house, would you sort of try and turn them off that, or would you encourage them?
Catch-22 situation. If they don't like Georgian style fireplaces, at the end of the day, they've got to live with it. So it's still, we will suggest different ideas, but they live in the house, and they have to look at it. And 4 or 5 years down the line, we still want them to walk into that room and say, I love that fireplace.
Right, so basically, what you're saying, you would prefer them to have something sympathetic with the era, but if not, it's purely their choice.
Yeah, fashions come in, fashions go out. At the moment, castings, cast iron, selling a hell of a lot of cast iron. Yeah. Rather than cast iron and tiles.
All right, when you say cast, are you talking about what we call, well, what I know in the trade as a combination?
Combis, yeah.
Yeah, a combination. Yeah. That's where the insert is connected to the back plate all as one.
Totally, all in one piece.
Rather than 2 separate pieces. Yeah. Now, you think they tend to be slightly smaller though, generally, don't they?
Yeah, well, originally they started off their lives as bedroom fireplaces, but on some of the larger bedroom fireplaces, you can easily put them into lounges on the smaller terraced houses, and they look fantastic.
Yeah, they're fairly flexible. They're very easy to fit as well, aren't they?
They're good, and they're also, if you don't want to introduce, you get a lot of people who's got polished pine floors and bits and pieces of other woods, and you're not introducing another wood into it.
Do you make stuff, if people say I was coming to you and ask you specifically for some bars or some inserts, could you actually make that for me?
We can do. There's a lot of companies now and foundries that we found their sort of back catalogues will cast. They found and got old patterns which they would do. There's a lot of stuff coming in from China where the Chinese now are buying the original patterns, and on reproduction it is easier, I know it sounds mad, to get stuff brought in from China, and the quality now is fantastic. And they are making spares for English Victorian fireplaces.
So now we've got the Chinese over in China making spares for our Victorian fireplaces, yeah? And then we're importing them back over here. Yeah. So we're giving them the patterns, they're making them, and we're importing them back over here.
Yeah. And the worst thing is it's usually quicker.
So what you're saying, Graham, if I go in your shop and ask for a number 68, you'll probably be able to sort me out.
Oh, definitely.
Mick, I felt guilty when I got my hammer and chisel. But it seems like you've nearly done it. It's a real shame. I'll just do this bit then. Is this the mark, the in one or the outer one?
Yeah, it's side one.
Right. Very handy when it's old horsehair and lime plaster. It comes off very easy. And this is very interesting. This has been added at a later date. If we could see, there's a start of an arch there, and that would have gone right the way across, and you can see the other end of it here. So this has been altered sometime in its life. And this little steel piece of angle iron has been installed as a lintel, just to reduce the opening size. But we're going to change all this, Mick, this coming out?
New lintel and brickwork back up to support this.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's nothing actually supporting this now. This could just drop and it would rack back right the way up there. So we want to avoid that, don't we?
Yes, you can see this drop before.
Oh yes, yeah, you can see it, see? See that old mark, and there's a little hairline crack there. So this part has been built in before. This guy should actually be a detective, you know, he's very good. Right, so we can pull this out.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you swept this one. Right, John, what was it you wanted to talk to me about?
Can I attack this with a blowtorch to get the paint down without ruining it?
Well, I wouldn't use a blowtorch because for the amateur it's a bit difficult. If you feel confident enough, fine. Are you going to repaint this after?
Yes.
Oh, then you could use it. But if you wanted to wax it or stain it and varnish it, then you'd have to use a hot air gun.
I mean, the problem with this is it's just board, isn't it? It's not good wood under here. So it's
well, it's pine. That's okay. I mean, they're made up of layers. Now this This is the original door lining is that wide from that thing. It's about a foot, 14 inches wide, and then this doorstop is very wide. Today, they're normally thicker, but they're only about 1.5 inches wide. I mean, this is really classy, what I call good quality work. And then we move around here to the door lining, from the door lining to the architrave. Now, the architrave is very fancy, but it's not over the top. It's pure Regency. There's a lot of elegance in it. And then this, to top it all, this pelmet is absolutely wonderful. This is all about elegance and style, and that's the Regency style. I mean, if you look around, the ceiling, it's not elaborate, but it's got a lot of style to it. I mean, look at this front door. I mean, it's just fabulous. Now, do you know in Dublin, the fair city of Dublin,
I know Dublin.
these fan lights over the doors are extremely popular, and they're so varied. There's loads of different designs and styles. It's one of the features of Dublin. It's a Georgian city, and I think you've got a beautiful one here. I am green with envy. Well, they've been busy while I've been away. The lintel's in, the brickwork's in over the top of the lintel. Now, I don't know what they're doing here. What's this, Ian?
Well, this is the three-piece slate hearth.
Three-piece hearth. I've heard of a three-piece suite, but never a three-piece hearth.
Right, yeah. It's a three-piece hearth. With this being a solid fuel fire, it's going to generate a lot of heat. So it has to be a three-piece hearth to allow for any expansion with the slate.
Well, that's a new one on me. I've never heard that one before.
You have a danger with the one-piece slate with the heat.
Is that purely for slate? That only relates to slate? Or does it relate to
nearly
all
all,
hearth?
all sort of stone.
Yeah?
Yeah, and need to have expansion, possibility of expansion with it.
Oh, well, I can understand the principle behind it, but I never actually thought that applied to... Because I always thought the heat went upwards.
Yeah, but with the basket that's going in there, it will generate ever such a lot of heat, especially with this area there. Okay. And it can cause it to go like a spider's web, just to crack.
Oh, I'll accept that. You know, we have to learn something new every day. Now, what are you putting these? You just putting these on sand and cement? Soft sand and cement?
Yeah, we've unibonded the hearth there.
Yeah.
But a strong mix of sand and cement there, but a rapid setting cement to make it go off a bit quicker, because everything's going to sit on here.
Oh, yeah, because in this particular case, we've got to build this all in today. So the hearth is going on rapid setting cement mixed with sand, yeah?
Yeah, building sand.
Right. So therefore it's going to cure quickly, and then we can proceed with putting the surround up. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Well, let's go and have a look at the other one now. Mix fitted a fire brick throat lintel over the top of the opening and then backfilled in the void area. The next stage is we're going to put in the hearth. This is 8mm micro-bore copper pipe. That's for the gas supply. Now, we're not connecting the gas. That has to be done by a Corgi registered installer. But we're going to lay this pipe underneath the hearth. But we've covered it in this yellow gas tape so that it doesn't corrode with the cement. That's no reaction. But all we've got to do is put it in place, put the muck down, then the hearth, and then we can carry on. We're applying a sand and cement fillet between the fire back plate and the wall. This is to prevent fumes from the fire leaking into the room. Something I've seen the boys do which is really clever. I've never seen it before, and they've actually held the top in place by screwing into the wall with wall plugs and squeezing between the top and the screw a bit of that copper pipe. Now, the reason they've used copper pipe is because when they plaster it, it won't show any discoloration through the plaster. Right, I'm working. I've got to do something to earn my keep. What we're doing here is we're going to put a gas fire in this hearth. We've got the front parts in stone. Because this part's going to be under the fire, won't be seen, we can do this with a sand and cement screed. But because of the fire, the gas fire, we have to plant a bit of brick underneath the surface to take the back leg. and then we'll just cover it with a screed. Like so. This stuff has got a lot of quick drying cement in it because it's nearly gone off already. Do you know, when you're doing something like this, I always think it's important to leave something behind for posterity, like for future generations to discover and appreciate. Something like, you know, Space Invaders was here. The solid fuel fire will have to be left for at least 24 hours before John can light it, just to give the cement time to dry out. If you're having a fireplace like this fitted at home, safety is very important. When it comes to actually fitting the gas fire, you must employ a Corgi registered gas installer. That brings us to Steve. Now, Steve doesn't work for the royal family. Steve, what does Corgi stand for?
It stands for the Confederation of Registered Gas Installers.
Right, and what are you doing here today?
I'm checking that there's no gas leaks and also making sure that the flue is clear and the integrity of the flue is sound.
Right, what about air ventilation?
Ventilation is important, but check the manufacturer's instructions as well.
Good. Well, John, a real home fire. Is it what you expected?
It's more than I expected. I'm really pleased with it, and I'd like to thank everybody for their efforts today.
Well, that's what this Regency room really needed, was a central focal point. A beautiful marble fireplace. Well, that's it for today. See you next time on Space Invaders.
Mark Evans is befuddled by the array of gauges and levers required to fly his helicopter next. He's learning all about avionics for a double bill of A Chopper Is Born.